Hey, how are you? I have been thinking about something and I wanted to share it with you. Um, I have been thinking about how God is in the fabric of the universe. God made this place where we are. And a lot of times as Christians, we think, um, we have to do certain things to be close to God, or we're not measuring up. And non Christians, or people who don't believe or don't know what you believe, you're like, I don't want to be part of that Christian world because of the to do list. Jesus was a cool guy, but all the Christians I know are weird. I don't want to do the things that they do. Um, anyway, so I wanted to just tell you what I've been thinking about, okay? So, God. I think God is in so much more than we think. We put God in the section of like attending church or doing a Bible study or having a quiet time in the morning and praying. But he's not just only there. He can be there. We can connect with God there. But God can be in some time when we are just sitting outside looking at the leaves on a tree. Um, I just put up all these things where God is, where we can encounter Him. Nature, fruit, flowers, people working, making good food, friendships, soccer, babies, medical care, discovery, champagne, birthdays, friends, laughing, forgiving, cooking, cleaning, washing dishes, raising kids, being gracious with yourself, sleeping, waking up, enjoying coffee, walking down a city street, traveling. I mean, he can be in all of the things that we do and experience, and we don't have to say that our faith has to look just like somebody else's. And here's what I think happens sometimes. I think non-Christians can look at Christians and be like, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that, or that just doesn't seem right to me or feel right to me. And sometimes Christians, we portray faith as doing it all the right way. Like you have to have devotions every single day. Okay. Um, you know, I don't really believe this, but depending on how you're raised or what Christian church you're part of, you might say no rock music. Okay. Some people think you shouldn't drink, no drinking. I was part of a church for a while where they really advocated handing out those little tracts, like a little book that says, you're a sinner and you're going to hell and you need to know Jesus to be forgiven, which it's true, but it's not really the way to present it, in my personal opinion, with no relationship or no understanding of the person. Anyway, some people think you gotta do that to be a good Christian. You gotta listen to Christian radio. Okay? So I'm just saying what you may or may not believe, okay? You have to decide what you think about predestination. So, you should probably lead a Bible study, okay? Certain Christian denominations wear head coverings for prayer or worship or all day, every day. So you got to decide what you think about that. I have heard no dating. You shouldn't date. You should just court and then marry someone. So here we go. No dating. I personally think that's not a great approach. But anyway, no R-rated movies. You shouldn't watch R-rated movies. Some people think that. All your stuff should be Christian. If you are a reader, you should read Christian fiction. Why not? No comedy. It's too raunchy. Okay. you should listen to Christian podcasts, okay? Let's see. You should debate Christian issues. You should know what you think about all these things, and you should debate everywhere you go. So what happens, I think, is like we start covering up who God is and how people can experience God with our rules and our Christian-y stuff. And all this beauty is like behind these rules and to-do lists. You see what I'm saying? And someone who's looking at God sees us, and would that they would see loving people who are enjoying life and living in grace and love and generosity. But I fear that they see like all these things, the to-dos and the not to-dos. So I just have been thinking about that and thinking that we need to be careful that whatever we believe in these like particular issues or ways that we live, we need to be careful that we're not saying this is God. Someone who decides to follow God might arrive at some of these conclusions, might arrive at say, you know what, I don't want to date. I just want to find the right person and marry them. Okay, they might arrive there, but let's not say that this is God. Let's not say you can't be right with God if you don't think the way I do about this issue. Yeah. So I want to take these off, and I want to say you might meet God in a different way than other Christians that you know. And the way you live out your faith is going to look different than everybody else because you're one of a kind. You really are. And one of my absolute favorite parts of the Bible is when Paul in the New Testament talks about the church being like different parts of a body. And sometimes I think when one of these things is really important to you, like leading a Bible study, that's great. But not everybody has to do that. You might be a part of the body that is a leader, and that's great. But somebody else might be a part of the body that's a protector or a listener. And so the way that they walk next to Jesus is going to look different than the way you walk next to Jesus, and we need to allow that. And take these things down. And it's okay if you arrive at these conclusions and say, you know what? I really can't watch R-rated movies. They're too scary for me. And I need to listen to Christian music because it encourages me. That's great. But don't make that who God is, because it might not be true for somebody else. And don't cover up soccer. Don't ever cover up soccer. Well, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you feel totally and completely free to be exactly who God made you.